Coming up, former President Donald Trump made a very early decision regarding the 2024 election.
How inflation is going to impact this holiday shopping season and how to save for the holidays.
Books, a controversial.
Recent studies show 41% of banned books are related to LGBTQ plus topics. We break it down in this week's episode of Portage Pulse. Good afternoon, Portage County, and welcome to this week's episode of Portage Pulse. I'm Lindy Griesinger.
And I'm Nikki Gasiewski. Today we start with updates in national Don't Say Gay bills and how they're impacting banning of books in elementary schools.
Our reporter, Shane Troyano, has more.
Banning books, a controversial topic in schools right now, especially in the LGBTQ plus community.
Book bans might feel like a kind of boutique issue, but it strikes at the very core of what we talk about when we think about core fundamental civil liberties in our country.
According to PEN America, of those banned books around schools nationwide, 41% involve or are related to LGBTQ plus topics.
It is my belief that it is targeted deliberately against the organization of people who have been marginalized or undervoiced.
Some say that the reason that these books are being banned in schools might be due to the language of the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, allowing other states to follow.
The Don't Say Gay bill in Florida all set a tone, even if you're talking about like a high school classroom and students who already are out of the closet in those classrooms, they're getting a message that they shouldn't talk about these topics at all.
House Bill 616 in Ohio aims to remove divisive topics from the classroom. Some say parents are at the forefront.
Parents always have rights. I don't think that's anything anyone is trying to take away ever. You don't like the content? Don't read it to your child.
If you don't want your child to read that book, I can hardly argue with you. But you don't have the right to say what my child can read.
As of right now, Hudson is the only school district in Ohio to ban books, but some say this might be the start of a new pattern.
In the United States, we're all about freedom, right? So why wouldn't we want to have freedom on the bookshelves as well?
When we ban books, we ban ideas, we ban words, we ban stories, we ban language, we ban culture. And when you ban all of that, you erase people.
Reporting for TV2 News, I'm Shane Troyano.
Jeopardy champion and Ohio native Amy Schneider testified before an Ohio House of Representatives meeting on Wednesday. She spoke against a bill that would restrict gender-affirming medical care for minors. Schneider is the first transgender contestant to qualify for Jeopardy and says if she lost access to hormone therapy, quote, "I don't know that I could go on living."
Kent State University allegedly denied a promotion to professor because of their gender identity. G. Pat Patterson, assistant professor in the English department, accused the university of, quote, sabotage, saying they backed out on a promise to promote them to a leadership role. Patterson was hired by Kent State in 2018, and at the time of their hire was the only openly transgender professor at the university. Patterson remains employed by Kent State University.
After weeks of debate, the Ohio Board of Education decided to push voting on anti-discrimination protections to include LGBTQ plus students. In a 10-9 vote, the board chose to move their voting to their December meeting. If enacted, federal funding used for things like free lunches and reduced lunches could use the blocks from keeping transgender girls off a female sports team. The board's next meeting is scheduled for December 13th. And an Aurora man accused of killing his father is being admitted to a Summit County facility to be treated for mental illness. 24-year-old Colton J. Gavin was accused of stabbing his father multiple times back in November of 2018. Judge Becky Doherty found Gavin not guilty by reason of insanity on all counts in September. Judge Doherty said this decision was made based on testimony from psychologists, expert witnesses, and Gavin's medical history.
Dover Mayor Richard Homeisen was convicted on Wednesday for soliciting improper compensation and dereliction of duty The improper compensation charge comes after he took fees for wedding ceremonies he performed. The latter charge comes after he failed to deposit payments in the city treasurer. Once sentenced, he'll be barred from office. Ohio lawmakers are cracking down on distracted driving with a new bill. The proposed bill will make using a handheld phone a primary offense. For hand-free phone use, it will allow drivers only one touch or swipe. The penalty for first-time offenders will be a $150 fine or a distracted driver course. The bill is expecting approval in the House, but it passing in the Senate is unclear. Leadership in the House has changed, and tune in to see what Biden has to say about it.
Coming up, former Vice President Mike Pence speaks on Donald Trump's announcement to run for presidency in 2024.
The College of Public Health at Kent State University prepares students for careers in some of today's most exciting health fields. Public health professionals impact lives by monitoring clinical trials, advocating for mental health, supporting active lifestyles, and more. The College of Public Health also offers open courses for any major, including its most famous course, Zombie Outbreak. Public health students can even study abroad and are encouraged to join the Public Health Student Alliance. For more information, visit kent.edu/public health. Public health, solving our problems together.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
What is it about Mitch McConnell's leadership style that you don't like?
I look for something that tries to get us in a better place than where we have been. And I look at the last 20 years, we seem to struggle more in the swing state.
You got to be a leader and you got to organize, and I thought he did a good job of that.
Are we frustrated that we didn't sometimes? Yes, but I don't lay those things at McConnell's fault. I see other reasons for that.
Republicans win control of the House, and Biden's reaction. 8 days after the election, the GOP passed their threshold, a 218 seats needed to control the House. Biden offered in a press conference to work with the Republican majority, but he won't compromise on priorities like his climate change goals. Democrats' majority is still undecided, with the Georgia Senate race being decided by December runoff.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
And Donald Trump announced his third White House bid for 2024. The former president launched a campaign to reclaim the Oval Office on Tuesday. Trump made his announcement from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida a week after the midterm elections. Trump is the first major candidate to announce a 2024 presidential bid. President Joe Biden's team responded to Trump's announcement in a tweet saying, quote, "Donald Trump failed America." And after an explosion left 2 dead in Poland, G7 and NATO leaders want to investigate the explosion before responding to it. Poland says a Russian-made missile fell on a village near its border with Ukraine. And determining whether Russia was involved is crucial since its NATO members pledged to defend each other. With Trump running for office again and his history of questions, the need for NATO and G7 worries some.
I know you're not going to announce your candidacy this evening, but do you think you would be a good president?
Well, that would be for others to say. If we entered the race for president, I wouldn't be thinking so much about who I was running against, but what I was running for. You know, the Bible says, without a vision, the people perish. And I truly do believe that we spend too much time in politics talking about the other side and not talking enough about what our vision is.
Former Vice President Mike Pence said on Wednesday that voters are, quote, looking for new leadership, end quote. After Trump's big announcement, Pence declined whether he thinks the former president should return to his old position. Pence said in an interview, quote, "I think we will have better choices in 2024.
A new Senate report has found the Department of Homeland Security, FBI, and social media companies have failed to address domestic terrorism threats. The Senate staff found extremist content on platforms including Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, despite policies to police these posts. The FBI says it prioritizes threats based on analysis of available intelligence and allocates resources accordingly. A new TikTok challenge is encouraging teenagers to steal Korean-built cars. Videos posted on the platform by a group called Kia Boys shows users how to commit grand theft auto. The cars being targeted by teenagers are Kias and Hyundais that use keys to start the ignition. Spokespeople for Kia and Hyundai announced they made changes to their 2022 models to protect their cars from these thieves.
And inflation is causing 60% of Americans to live paycheck to paycheck heading into the peak shopping season. Consumers who have historically been at peace during the season are finding that they are feeling a financial strain. Not only has the inflation caused prices to rise, but it has also caused real wages to decline. Shoppers are finding ways to save by buying less items or using coupons and other money-saving opportunities.
Thanksgiving is quickly approaching, and if you haven't bought your dinner yet, now is the time to do so. Derek James explains how to do it without gobbling up all your money.
So, do you consider this work, or fun, or both?
Well, I love coming to grocery stores and discovering things I haven't seen before or tried before, and especially when I find a great deal like these.
Lisa Baker has been operating savings site TwinCitiesFrugalMom.com for 14 years.
I'm seeing a lot more people asking how can I save my money? How can I stretch my dollars? How can we, survive through this?
The average Thanksgiving host is now spending $392 on the dinner, including drinks and decor. Baker says there are plenty of ways to cut that number down if you shop now when prices are still competitive.
I've seen gravy mix for 19 cents. I've seen pizza crust mix for 29 cents. I've seen a lot of these kind of loss leaders to get you in the store.
When it comes to the bird, Baker suggests going frozen for your turkey
and maybe if you have a lot of people, make it into a potluck.
Try store brands or generics. They are typically 20 to 25% cheaper than the name brand, so go with those except in the case of the 3 C's: coffee, chocolate, and cheese.
We're absolutely seeing more offers, more coupons, and lots of retailers trying to get ahead and lure people in to shop at their stores, promising, last year's prices or even going beyond that and promising 2019 prices in one case.
Joni Demmer is co-founder of CrazyCouponLady.com. She says the biggest Thanksgiving deal she's seen comes from the Ibotta cashback app. It offers a free turkey dinner with mashed potatoes, corn muffin mix, green beans, and gravy.
If you're a new Ibotta user, you'll have to buy quite a few things, about a dozen different items, in order to qualify, and then you're going to be able to unlock these offers that will literally get you a free turkey.
Baker and Demmer both say if you can stock up, now is the best time.
So much of it's on promotion now that it would be wise to go beyond just planning your Thanksgiving meal and maybe even buying ahead for the next few months, because prices are unlikely to be this low again, probably for the rest of the year.
Kissling, Nestico, and Reddick are giving away free turkeys today. K&R is hosting their 10th annual Coats and Cans for Kids turkey giveaway today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 3412 West Market Street in Fairlawn. Anyone who donates a non-perishable food item or gently used coat will receive a turkey. Food items will be given to Akron Canton Regional Food Bank. Coats will be given to Volunteers of America. Akron Metro RTA will give free rides to the event.
And that is all the time that we have for this week's episode of Portage Pulse.
When TV2 is off there, stay up to date on top stories on CountWire.com and on socials at CountWire.com. I'm Nikki Gasiewski.
And I'm Lindy Griesinger. Have a great day, Portage County.